annual celebrations.
KTLA's Corrine Winter is live in Chinatown with the latest developments. Hi, Corrine.
Hi there. Well, Mayor Karen Bass, she spoke alongside several council members at this morning's event. She also said that she was very close friends with Dolores Huerta, who of course is at the center of these allegations, and says the last 48 hours have been painful.
On behalf of the city of Los Angeles, I'm proud to sign a proclamation today to rename the last Monday of March as Farm Workers Day. I also want to share that I've been in touch with the Chavez family, and they support our decision to rename this holiday.
Mayor Bass signing that proclamation here in Chinatown, taking swift action following the publication of that New York Times article and Huerta's revealing social media post that late civil rights activist Cesar Chavez allegedly sexually assaulted her decades ago and impregnated her twice during a time when she worked alongside Chavez to spearhead so many changes in the social justice movement. Chavez also allegedly sexually assaulted at least 2 other women who shared their story with the Times.
When I heard the painful news from the sister that I admire so much, Dolores Huerta, my heart broke for what she went through.
Chavez's family said that they were shocked and saddened to learn of the news and that they're a family who embodies the values of equity and justice. Huerta posted that she carried the secret for as long as she did because building the movement and securing farm workers' rights was her life's work, and that the formation of a union was the only vehicle to accomplish and secure those rights, and that she was not going to let Cesar or anyone else get in the way. Across the state and country, officials have covered street signs, schools, statues bearing Chavez's name. You can see memorials covered in tarp or plastic bags. Increased calls for change.
The plight and the struggle of the farm workers continues on, and we will honor that. But we are going to have to take a look at a variety of things, including the naming of holidays, of buildings, of streets, all of that.
This is a very difficult time for all of us. And the reckoning is real. And it's palpable. We all feel it. But I look forward to anyone who engages in similar egregious acts in history, that the reckoning exhibits itself to anyone else that it also applies to in leadership.
Now, as for today's proclamation signing, Mayor Bass says it was not a celebration, instead a move to honor the men, the women, and children who toil in our fields every day. That's the latest here in Chinatown. Corrine Winter, KTLA 5 News.
Corrine, thank you. Gunfire erupted in downtown LA as the LAPD encountered an assault suspect. Look. This happened just before 5 a.m. Officers responded to a motorhome parked along 7th Street between Ceres and Gladys Avenues. Police say the suspect was armed with a revolver and refused to get out of the RV. After about a half hour, something caused the officers to open fire. The suspect was taken to a hospital in unknown condition, and a gun was at the scene. No officers were hurt.
Dozens of shipping containers shifted during heavy weather on the way to the port of Long Beach, and now there are concerns they will topple over.
So far, there have been no spills of hazardous materials, but crews are assessing the damage this afternoon. KTLA's Sarah Welch is live in Long Beach with the latest details on this. Hi, Sarah.
Hey, Sam. Good afternoon. Yeah, you're right. That damage assessment is underway. It's quite a dramatic sight. Let me step out and you can see what we've been talking about. Look at those crumpled and damaged containers precariously stacked on top of one another on board this massive cargo ship. It's the OOCL Sunflower. Now, if you look to the left or to the right, if we widen out just a little bit, you can see tall cranes on each side. We've been watching those cranes lift a basket with people inside taking a close closer look at what they are contending with out here. Meanwhile, if we pan out again, you can see the yellow buoy line all around the ship. This is a safety precaution set up by the Coast Guard, as it says there are potentially hazardous materials in some of those containers. Now, we had Sky 5 over the scene as well hours ago. How did this happen? The Coast Guard says on March 3rd, the ship with its cargo was traveling from Taiwan to Long Beach when it encountered severe weather off the Aleutian Islands in Alaska. At that time, officials say 32 shipping containers went overboard in the North Pacific, and another 57 were heavily damaged during that weather event before the vessel made it to the port here in Southern California. The Coast Guard says it's going over the ship's cargo manifest to see what exactly is in these containers, but because it says there are potentially hazardous materials aboard, they haven't said what. They have set up, as I said, that 500-foot temporary safety zone to protect people, the environment, and other vessels in the area.
Oh, what's going on the stacks?
That video from last September, a different container issue when up to 75 shipping containers fell off the cargo ship Mississippi into the water here at the Port of Long Beach. It happened at Pier G at that time. That caused a minor oil spill, but within a few weeks that cleanup was done and all those containers that fell in the water were recovered. But certainly a big mess for sure at that time. And back here live, a lot of work ahead here as you look at those damaged containers stacked on top of one another. Again, those initial damage assessments are being done. The Coast Guard says this vessel eventually will move to a facility in Long Beach where all those damaged containers will be safely removed from the ship. And as I step back into the shot, again, some of the good news, Sam and Lindsay, the Coast Guard says at this point there's been no pollution or any injuries as a result, at least here in the port, as a result of what happened aboard that ship during that weather event in Alaska. We'll send it back to you in Hollywood.
Sarah, thank you. Unified School District officials giving an update today on its ongoing contract negotiations with the LA Teachers Union. UTLA announced yesterday it is prepared to go on strike next month. KTLA's Omar Lewis is live in LA's Westlake District with the details on this. Hi, Omar.
Good afternoon, Lindsay. LAUSD officials say they are trying to avoid a shutdown and a strike at all costs, but they are putting together a contingency plan just in case that strike does happen and impacts thousands of students and families across Los Angeles. This all comes just one day after union leaders representing teachers and employees of the district announced that they are ready with the strike date set for next month. Want to show you that video from the rally that took place yesterday here. More than 30,000 members of United Teachers Los Angeles have been working under an expired contract since June of last year. Thousands of educators, administrators, and school workers representing 3 different unions. They all rallied yesterday at Grand Park in downtown LA, where union leaders announced they will strike beginning on April 14th if no agreement is reached. The potential walkout would impact nearly 400,000 students in the nation's second largest school district and involves more than 60,000 workers, including teachers, bus drivers, custodians, and cafeteria staff. At the center of this dispute, pay and resources. Teachers are asking for about a 17% raise over 2 years, while the district has offered roughly 8%, citing concerns over declining enrollment, expiring pandemic funds, and long-term financial stability. Negotiations have been ongoing for more than a year now, with both sides acknowledging progress, but still no final deal.
We have a responsibility to our community to provide a quality education to our students and to make sure our employees are compensated fairly and equitably. But we also have a responsibility to be careful stewards of the financial resources that our taxpayers entrust to us. Any increases in salary
and district leaders say that
balanced and considered.
District leaders say they are continuing negotiations around the clock and believe a strike can still be avoided, but they are working on a contingency plan in case the strike does happen. And they're coordinating with external partners to provide child care and food services for students that would be impacted here. Union leaders say they're also hoping to avoid a strike, but current wages just are not keeping pace with the cost of living in Los Angeles, and a lack of resources puts a strain on teachers and staff.
One of the main ones is just to pay teachers enough so that they can afford to live within the boundaries of LA Unified. We have a lot of our members, 20% of our membership is housing insecure. So we need to earn enough money so that we can afford to at least rent an apartment.
And back out here live again, that strike is set for April 14th. If no deal is made between these two sides by then, the district says it will release more details on that contingency plan in the coming weeks, if that is necessary. That is the latest for now here live from downtown LA this afternoon. I'm Omar Lewis. We'll send it back to you in Hollywood.
Still ahead on the KTLA 5 News at noon, more of your top stories.
Hi, Goldberg is here with our weather. Hey,